When I started building my first lamps using fabric cable just like this, I was really frustrated with the process of stripping it. It has this extra layer compared to normal cabling, and welded fabric usually doesn't want to cooperate. So today I'm going to show you a few ways to make it easier and faster to work with fabric covered cable. Okay, so as you can see, this is the cable I use. It comes from a company called La Morel, which actually produces the cable in Italy, a fact I really like. And it has this fabric around it, and in here you can see the core. The inside is pretty common, so I guess most people will know how to strip those type of cable. This is a common type of wire stripper by the brand Vacom, which is, they are quite expensive. They are above 100 euros, and whenever you're stripping, using them, let's make this a little longer. Whenever you're using them to strip, you will see all that happens is the fabric gets torn up. So that's not what we want. Let's cut this off. When you're just using a knife like this, be sure to have a sharp blade in it. It will really enhance your experience. So I would be careful not to press too hard while rotating the cable. And just go all the way around until you feel and you think the fabric is coming loose. Let's check. Okay, so this is not a successful attempt. Another way you can do it is to press down and roll the cable. And you should be sure to be all the way around. And if we pull it up, there goes the knife. You can see the cut is not too clean, but it's acceptable. If you put a piece of shrink tube over it, it will be more than fine. As you can see, we also cut a bit into the rubber of the outer insulation, but it's not too deep. You can't see the inner cores of the cable, so it doesn't matter too much. From here you can go ahead and just strip it like any other cable. Let's do this a little bit longer, just like this. Let's pull this off, and then we can strip the inner cores. Okay, next one. The next method is a little bit unconventional. It requires you to mount a sharp blade onto a piece of wood. In this way, you see, you will have only a little bit of the blade sticking out, which enables you to cut the outer fabric without touching the insulation or the cores of the wire. Let me just quickly demonstrate how to build and use this one. Okay, and then lastly we have this tool, which is a tool I got from Creative Cables, a cable and lighting bulb supplier from around Europe, and I think even outside of Europe. If you're going to strip any amount of cable, more than like one perhaps, I would strongly suggest getting a tool like this. There's only a little bit of setup required, more like fine-tuning even, where you adjust the height of the blade using the dial right here. And as you can see, I set it up to use this cable. And then when we put it in here and spin it around 2 or 3 times, and that should be enough to just take off the fabric. Really easy. So that's by far the easiest way to work. Actually, I've set it up to just score the outside of the insulation, and when you bend it, you can simply break it off. Meaning, pull it up right here, you have 2 exposed cores of the wire, and you can go ahead, strip these as well. And connect them to whatever you're connecting them to. Okay, so I hope this video was useful to some of you. I know this was a big frustration when I was just starting out, and once they introduced these little tools here, I made them available in Europe. It was a game changer for me. I suddenly lost way less time for a tedious task that I usually had to put hours into when building big batches of lamps. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this shorter style of how-to video. I definitely hope you learned something, and good luck with your upcoming projects.